You and I need to have a chat. This should be the last push-up tutorial you ever need to watch. Let's start with my gripe with the knee push-up. When you do a knee push-up, you're here, and a lot of people lift their feet off and they do whatever range that they feel comfortable with. And that is never going to get you the full range push-up like you want, because you need to practice doing push-up through full range and stabilizing and distributing weight across your whole body. So there's two things I need you to understand. There is the skill required to do the movement and the muscle required to do the movement. So the best skill or technique that you need to use is the one that helps you distribute tension across the main drivers of the movement as optimal as possible. So for a push-up, we've got our chest, shoulders, and triceps, which all should be involved in the movement. A lot of times when we practice short range, or if we practice faulty technique, we're gonna bias one muscle group more than the other. And optimally, we want to use all of them in unison. And then later, we can choose to bias certain movements, like the triceps, by having a really close grip later on, once we become more familiar with the movement pattern. So to start with, you want to get a bar elevated to wherever you feel necessary. So don't just start low because you feel like you can almost do push-ups off the floor. I want you to practice a set of 10 minimum up to 30. And then once you can do 30, lower the bar and then progress your way down the rack or surface that you choose to use. So you can do this on I like to use a rack because it's got lots of pins, but you can do it on boxes or a bench or any surface that you like. So when you set up for the push-up, I've got 3 cues. Keep your body stiff like a plank from your ankle to your head. So it's one line doing the movement. That way we're learning to stabilize a stiff body through our core, quads, glutes, and shoulders so that we can transmit the force straight from the floor into those main drivers. So setting up, stiff from ankle to the head, then try to bend the bar into a horseshoe. That's going to allow us to tuck the elbows at about 45 degrees. From there, just open yourself up, open the chest up as you come down to the bar. Allow yourself to get full range every single rep. And when you come down, you want to touch about on the sternum. So you've got a consistent point. Too high and it'll feel uncomfortable, too low and it'll feel awkward. Try to have it base of the sternum is a really good contact point for most people, but a little bit of variation if that feels better for you. Now, once you can get the bar down quite low on the floor, the next progression that you get into do is a toes down knee push-up. So when we do these, right, rather than just dropping into a knee push-up, going full range, coming back up, what we can do is learn to distribute weight between our knees and our toes. So if we have all of our weight in our toes, then that means we have nothing in the knees, and that means we can just do the push-up. But until then, we have to learn to distribute that weight further forward, and that's going to take weight out of our body so that we can practice doing a full range rep off the floor, still stabilizing, but you're going to have a little bit of weight in the feet. Once you've got the hang of that, the next progression before you do the full push-up is just learning a push-down. So a push-down is stabilizing a full push-up, but you're only controlling the negative, and then you're going to press out on your knees. So you're learning to control your whole body weight and then press out, because you're going to be stronger on every eccentric rep. When we go with gravity, we're actually a bit stronger. And as we come back out, we have to fight a bit harder. So from here, we're going to control down as slow as you can, squeeze your glutes up on your knees, still stiff like a board. Now here I've got maybe 10% of my weight in my knees and the rest of it in my toes. So I'm there, lift up, control down, knees up. 2 things you have to keep in consideration when you're doing these is that your 10 to 30 rep ranges are going to make you more skillful at the movement, but you're also going to be working harder, building the muscles required to do a push-up. But then as you go sub 10 reps, that's where I want you to push the progression. So that's where you can take the next level of lowering the bar on the rack or tackling something on the floor and working your way down that progression series. So anything from 1 to 10 reps is where you can get better at those skill movements. And that's it. If you can go all the way down to the floor on the rack, you can do a toes down knee push-up, then you would be ready to start doing your first full body push-up. That's it.